Hey everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
I can't believe that in 2014 we're out here again doing this. You know, when Carolyn called and asked me if I would speak, there was no hesitation. Yes, sure. I got angry because I don't think that in 2014 we should still have to be doing this. And I was also sad. Sad because this is the same fight that my grandmother, my mother, your grandmother, your mothers took on decades ago. And we shouldn't have to be doing it now. It's a fight that I don't think that we thought that we won outright, but at least we won something. And we shouldn't have to be doing this all over again. It saddens me because there are women right here in this country that are being denied a right, a fundamental human right to their own reproductive health. To think that there are women here in this country that don't have access to the type of health care that they need in their own province makes me shake my head and makes me get even angrier at our government. To think that in 2014 we're still trying to tell women what they can and they can't do with their own bodies is disgraceful, it's disgusting, and it's shameful.
Shame.
And as you can hear, that's where the anger comes in, right? Who the hell is Stephen Harper and his government and the right wing to tell me, to tell my daughter, to tell my granddaughter, to tell you, to tell your daughter, your granddaughter what the hell they can do with their own body? Who gives them the right to deny funds to countries and organizations that support a woman's right to choose? Sisters and brothers, let me say what many are afraid to say. It's outright classism and racism. Look at who's impacted. We've taken away funding from countries in Africa who continue to provide reproductive health. And we've said to the marginalized women in this country that you can't have what is rightfully yours. It's the working class, it's the marginalized, it's the racialized women who are disgustingly affected. It's angering because it's a clear violation of the Canada Health Act and federal law, and it's putting women in PEI and New Brunswick in harm's way. And sisters, make no mistake about it, it's not just about New Brunswick and PEI, because when they're successful in New Brunswick and PEI, and you know that I hope, and I know that you hope, that they're not successful in carrying out everything that they want to carry out. But we know that if they are successful, they're coming to us next. Whether we're in Vancouver, whether we're in Toronto, whether we're in Ghana, whether we're in Nigeria, whether we're in Jamaica, whether we're in Windsor, they're coming to us next. And it causes me even more anger, and I had to write this part because I needed to make sure that I quoted him correctly. Some years ago, John Baird indicated in an address on foreign relations, that women's rights are an important part of Canada's foreign policy and a personal priority of his. He further said, and let me quote, "As citizens of a global community, we have a solemn duty to defend the vulnerable, to give voice to the voiceless, to challenge the aggressor, and to promote and protect human rights and human dignity at home and abroad. We have the right to speak out when we see hate and violence. It also means we cannot be selective about which basic human rights we defend, nor can we be arbitrary about whose rights we protect." End quote. Well, Mr. Baird, we are speaking out now against what appears to be your government's hate. We're exercising our duty to defend the vulnerable and protect human rights and human dignity. Women who don't have access to basic health care, not in a foreign country, but right here in Canada. Their human dignity, their human rights are being violated. We should be providing women here and abroad who are survivors of sexual violence and essential sexual and reproductive health services. It's our duty to provide that. We should be providing them with comprehensive sexual education to adolescents, which would promote not just sexual and reproductive health and rights, but also gender equality and hence reduce gender violence. Sisters and brothers, in 2008, the Canadian Labour Congress was proud to give Henry Morgentaler the Humanitarian Award. We stood proudly beside him because of the work that he did and the many lives that he saved. I was again honored to speak at his memorial. Sisters and brothers, we're here today to honor his memory, to honor the memories of all women who have lost their lives because of unsafe or lack of reproductive health care. We need to let our MPs, our MPPs, our councillors, our mayors know and understand that we are not going backwards. Let's move together. Let's move together. Let's move forward together. My words are going now. Let's move forward together and demand proper reproductive health care for all women, not just in Canada, but all around the world. Thank you very much for coming.